Hello and welcome
Oh,
back to
yeah.
the Mindtrek.net game server. With me is Shadow Appler77, and where are we at, Shadow? I'm above
We
you.
are in.
I'm below you now. Damn it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Stop moving.
We're in.
I will
Okay.
find you. I'm just going to TP back to you here so you can... There we go. This compass and me don't get along too well. Alrighty,
Yeah, I
where
can
are we
tell.
at?
We are in the Musty Bee nacelle. This is the one in the ship. There are two currently because I'm still working on.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, this is the one in the. This is the one in the ship. But there isn't much of a difference between the two now. And the major difference is you probably noticed in the last episode of Atro's video where he was covering this. This abruptly stopped. It does now. This black filler no longer stops, and I just fell out.
Haha.
The blue side things for the coils now go all the way to the back of the nacelle.
Very cool indeed. Really nice looking design
Got
you
these.
got for your warp coils. I like how you put the iron on the edges of them and stuff. Really
Oh
sets them
yeah.
apart.
I saw this. I kind of try to keep it similar to that you see on the. I make my own changes where I need necessary, but it's very. I like to keep things similar, like the same class of ship. This entire nacelle, pretty much unseen till now, unless you've seen the Ds, it has completely been ripped out. There is no visible hole from inside the nacelle. If there is, there's a problem,
One
because there
point
shouldn't be.
One thing to point out is that the nacelle shape for the Sovereign is much different than that of the Enterprise D. This is more of a
Oh yeah,
triangular shape.
and it gets so much smaller in the back.
Oh.
This is why the coil seems so huge at the front, because if you go to the back, right, you notice how quickly there's just no space back here.
This is it. It's gone right there. So
Yeah,
and this
there's
is your
literally no space.
off-axis controller and stuff.
Yep,
And you
we'll
had your
control that.
RCS
There is.
thrusters and stuff back here. Looks like you're getting room and stuff.
You know,
This
I'm
is
starting to plan out like these tanks. There'll be tanks, then there'll be reactors, and then reactors would just connect into this back here,
I love the
and
color
that's
you
it.
decided to go with for the inside of this. This is really a nice color palette. It works well with all the
I'm,
colors and stuff. Very nicely done. You have a good eye
uh,
for this stuff. You should
it's
study art for a living. I like your
I
braces too.
did.
Your braces are really nice looking.
I used to. I did A level art.
Well, it
Yeah.
shows. It shows. It shows. And then if you look inside, in fact, let's just go inside of his off-axis control. It's so busy in here, it actually hurts the eyes because it's just something that's so much to look at. It is really,
Yeah.
really impressive in here.
Yeah.
It
Just don't go
reminds me of
past
the
this blue
engines from the
glass.
original Trek series, you know.
Yeah.
So
Just do not go past the blue glass. There is nothing behind the blue glass at the moment.
nothing
I've
behind the blue
never.
gas, huh? Just
Yeah.
looks
It's
like a
just
big
nothing
exhaust
here.
tube. Ooh, I see what this is. What I would do in here is just put a big sphere and like make it look like a spinning ball mass. So that's basically all it is. Let's get out of here and go back forward here. If I can
Yeah.
slow
It's.
down and get a good run at it. I almost had it. Darn it. We'll get it sorted out. There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
oops,
This.
crash again. I'm heading
All this.
forward.
Yeah. There's a couple of control rooms on the bottom here, in between the coils, if you can find them. They're connected into the pylon. Eventually, well, part of it is. Where are you?
In the
Oh,
turbo,
you're.
I'm down here in one of these rooms that you're. This is pretty cool. I like this room. Love how you integrated the new textures for this older pack and did a lot of work with it. Very cool. You get in here, you can look up and see the bottom of the nacelle, and this is the
Like all
Jeffries
the
tube that
coils.
goes down into the ship proper. At some point, it'll go right
Yep.
along here into the ship.
Yep.
So,
One of the things I'm considering is on the other side,
mm-hmm.
the plasma transfer conduit is to have a Jeffries tube because we have another room literally next door, and in here, random spot, will be just a locker assembly. Really, that's all it's in here for. Yeah, this is fun. So where are you? Where have you gone?
I was following you, and then you were telling me about something, and then I lost track of you. But I
Alright,
was
so
just
we're actually
admiring.
in the.
I was
Yeah, we're
admiring.
inside the control booth.
Yes. I was just admiring this Jeffrey Stroop layout you have here. It's so neat. I'm so
The
jealous.
one good thing about this Jeffrey's Tube layout is how quickly you can manipulate it. If you come to me,
Yes, I am following you.
this is one of the manipulations I've done.
Oh, you
Just
got little
that.
environmental suits? Radiation
Yep.
suits?
There's a load of them through these corridors.
Very cool, very cool. We don't have anything on
And
those because those stands cause a lot of frame rate and FPS drops.
yeah, and there's a lot of them in this ship. I used
Yeah.
to have a few of them, and I've deleted most of them. But yeah, there's just a lot
Alrighty.
of these manipulations.
Oh, whoa,
Here we
you
have.
got work bee stations in here. This is very cool.
Oh yeah,
This is very
very.
badass, dude. I love
And
this.
these
I love
are.
how you did this. See how you implemented this. And when I put them in the Enterprise E, it was just basically as a space filler because, hey, why not? But you actually did something very cool here. I love how you do this. You make it look very submarine-y. Very neatly done, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I love these work beats, even though they were my own. But I can appreciate my own work now.
Yes. No, I can really appreciate your work too because it's awesome. Hey, where'd you go? Oh, you're going to the airlock.
Well, one of them. There's a couple on this ship. Pick a door, any door.
Okay.
We go to the same place.
They go up underneath the Buzzard collectors, which are
Yep, and
very impressive.
these were
I
one of
remember
my
seeing something like
very.
this in Total Recall, the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ah.
Just saying.
Bullets.
You could easily put your off-axis or your shield generators and stuff up in here if you wanted to, but man, there's a lot of space up here.
Oh,
This is
there's
the
already.
auxiliary crew lounge area. This is where
I
the
probably have a
crew
couple of.
comes.
I'll likely have some support. Yeah, there's already a generator in the control booth because I could actually fit it.
Cool.
So I've left the nacelle now.
Alrighty,
There's
I
nothing
am
more to see in the.
coming out of the nacelle and I'm flying. Wow, that is just so beautiful when you come out of that and you just see the ship and its grandeur. This makes the Sovereign and the Enterprise E look like kids play because it is just beautiful. Although M's did a fantastic job on the Enterprise E hull, this is just next level amazing.
And right, I'm at the former theater.
Alrighty, I'm swinging around
Yep.
down behind you here. Wow, you did do a lot of clean out, didn't you?
Yep, completely gone. Now this is something you patched up me on one of your videos. And yes, I agree with you. This was really bad use of space, and it's completely gone now.
Cool, cool.
It
It's
will.
nice that
It
you're
will
able to
live.
recapture it. So, you know, you could.
I got about 40% wasted space in this area. I've now completely claimed, so
Cool.
it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, it's going to be so cool to see all this and when you get done with this grotto because it'll rival the size of the one on the Enterprise D. Especially since you have this tiering column and stuff and this atrium right here, and you could do so much with this design. I'm looking so much forward to seeing how you pull this off because I know it's going to be a couple of months, maybe a year down the road before we see it. But cool.
Yeah,
Also, you just updated your warp core. It looks like.
Yep. Here's the full one over here. I did update it. This was based on a technical drawing.
Mm-hmm.
When I was looking at the technical drawings of the warp core ejection system for the Enterprise E, I noticed that a lot of the technical drawings only showed two sections of the actual warp core,
Mm-hmm.
or basically having the exposed. What would you call these? Magnetic constraints.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest had actually been covered over, kind of similar to the swirl core seen on the Intrepid class or Voyager.
Okay. So
And
you
so
just
I decided to
you replicated these parts then around this
yeah,
core
I've
here.
basically just I've replicated the patched off corners of the.
And this is the core
of
that
the
you've implemented into the ship. Yes, it is.
Yes,
Very cool
yes.
indeed. Very cool indeed.
I thought it would be better to use the technical drawn ones than the just a refitted E1.
True.
I wanted there to be very major differences. What else did you patch up on? Oh, that's kind of it. But let's go into the shuttle bay because there is stuff definitely going on in the shuttle bay now.
Alrighty.
I'm sitting on top of.
I'm in the
The
shuttle bay and I'm working my way aft to the first airlock. I'm now into the second
but
area where the lifts are.
well, let's go into the
There you
first
are.
area.
Alright, there you are. You're
It's
so
very obvious
fast.
what.
Slow down, you're so fast.
I always I always have my speed set to 2.
Ah,
It's easier for me. Well, it's kind of obvious what's been going on. Shuttles are now definitely being added, and this time, these are the final ones. I'm on deck 7. This shuttle bay needs to be finalized before I can really mirror it. If it's not finalized, it's going to really jeopardize me in the long term.
true, true.
So it's getting finalized. So what you're
Looks like you
seeing now
made
is
this bigger.
Oh, this was never touched. I've never touched the lift.
It's still a very large lift. It's dual lifts. It's a lift beside a lift, so each side
Yes,
can
and they can
independently lift
function.
and lower. So it's a beautiful looking lift,
Yeah,
by the way. Love the
they
detail of
can
that.
also be used. They can also be used as one single lift,
Yes.
and that's because of an escort.
Oh, I fell. Hold on, let me get back up there. An escort. I assume the
Your
escort is
escort.
parked back in here someplace. It's like the
Yep.
It's like a
This is what.
Millennium Falcon spot, right? This is
Yeah,
where they
this is
parked
what
the
this is
Millennium
here for.
Falcon. I love your lower hangar,
Office.
by the way. I was going to compliment you on that in another video. I just love how you set up these things for the um, runabouts. Yeah, the runabout sleds, and then you have all the space over here for parking. You see how it's two-tiered, so it looks a lot like the JJ Prize and
Yeah, and this
the
is
Enterprise
actually for the
D.
alts. This is actually for the alts of the runabouts. This is actually not even for shuttles. This is just for alts
So
of runabouts.
they all fit.
Whole bay.
They fit.
Oh yeah, they fit. They
Awesome.
fit.
Very cool. But
I always measure things out. Here's the thing: this entire bay is dedicated to just the escort and the runabouts.
so
Then
this
past
is
this
basically
airlock,
a runabout bay.
just this up to this airlock is runabout bay,
Very cool.
and then here is additional shuttles, work bees, work sphinx, stuff like that. Speaking of which, let's go up using this lift because this is the lowered one.
Alrighty.
Obviously, we have the T14. This has
That's
been
a
covered
beautiful
so many
looking
times.
shuttle. Oh my God!
This
Is this one of your remarks?
is one of my builds. This is one of my build shuttles.
Oh, this thing is just beautiful. Let's go inside this thing and check this out. Look at
This
this.
is one of my prides and joy.
Oh, it's beautiful, dude. It truly is a beautiful shuttle. If I build my own ship, we're definitely going to have a couple of these on it. I'll have to make the hangar
usually.
next. If we do the Venture's going to have a shit ton of these on it. I like this and the
Oh,
Valkyrie.
yeah.
The Valkyrie that Mad Squirrel had made. I
I'll
really
have
like that one. But
I have to show
it's
you the
dangerous,
Type
it's really
12s and the Type 13s then.
cool.
So over here we have another one of my shuttle. This is another one of my shuttle remakes, or rather a remake of something I built. This is the Type 18H, or if you're a Trek nerd, it's the SC4 Janeway shuttle.
Yes, it's the one you see a lot on Voyager that they keep blowing up and having to manage. They have an endless supply of on Voyager. It's a tight fit.
That's the Type 9.
It's a very nice though. It's a very nice. Yes, yes.
This is the 18H. This is only appears once, and I decided doing this. Why not?
Cool. It's good to
The
have it.
Type 9s are at the front, and the Type 9s are again just another remake. And here's even another remake, or rather,
Okay.
just a build.
This is beautiful.
It works Sphinx.
That is beautiful, and it fits in there too,
And
which is really amazing considering
luckily,
the size. That's actually
yeah,
really nice
luckily.
looking. I love this. It's a space tug, if you're curious. It's a big work bee. What do they call this? A Sphinx?
Yeah, this is the work Sphinx.
Yeah.
It's got a nice,
Shadow,
really.
I know I'm fat, but
tight-
really, you don't have to pick me up with the Sphinx. What are these parking bays going to be used for?
Fuel.
Fuel?
Fuel bays.
These are your fueling bays?
So behind here, like all behind each one of these, there's a small room, and this dedicated will be a deuterium tank. Each one of these has a deuterium tank.
Cool.
They're really
cool.
big room. Don't ask me why.
Hey,
But
you
it
know,
also
these
has
shuttles
bus
use a lot of
systems.
fuel. And oh, by the way, I was thinking, and you know those? I'm gonna fly over there to the underside of your impulse engines because I know some work was done on those. Some preliminary SketchUp work was done on that. But these big, these ram scoop exhaust ports, the funnel things here that can bend down and basically
Cool.
they're
The things I
reversed.
call coolants.
Yeah, you call them cool. You could also, if you wanted to, when the ship flies through like a cloud of hydrogen, use them as hydrogen collectors.
Oh,
And
that's an
because you
interesting
convert
idea.
hydrogen into deuterium fuel, because why not?
Ah, I didn't see this down here, but whatever.
Alright, I'm going
Yeah,
to
when I
enter
go.
into the impulse bay here, and you can see some of the work he's been doing on the impulse bay. He's offset. He's in the process of designing the impulse engine bay. He looks like he's off to a really good start here. Some of the
Well,
top.
you were there.
I'm just pitching
I'm
in.
not gonna.
I'm just pitching
Yeah,
in, but I mean, this is
the
just real basic
reactors.
stuff.
The reactors will be changed out. I do have a designed reactor, and they will be implemented. I do have an idea of how it's going to look preliminary after this. My big concern is this really big exhaust, but I've got ideas on that too, eventually.
And the problem with having a big exhaust is because of the fact that it's entire. This is the fuel mixture chamber for the impulse engine. This is where the reactant fuel combines together with the isopropylic alcohol and creates sarin gas. Anyways, no, this is the reason this is so big is because the reactant fuel from here enters the chamber. This is the combustion chamber, and throttle. I don't know the rocketry terminology for it. Basically, all the big explosive shit goes on here, and that's why
Yeah.
it's like a large room. And my Logitech mouse doesn't want to work anymore. Center click button is giving me trouble. Oh god, I wish
Anyway,
I could
let's.
find a mouse I could recommend, but I can't recommend Corsair mice, and I sure as hell can't recommend Logitech wireless mice
Um,
because they're all garbage.
I would recommend the wireless Advent for ages, and it still works.
See? Shadow always gets the better toys to play with. But yeah,
Oh,
this
this is
impulse
really
bay
cheap.
is going to be filled with a lot of stuff. It's going to be a very,
Yeah, I'll be.
very complex bay. Whereas on the Enterprise E, I haven't been to in eons. I couldn't even begin to tell you what that bay looks like. I know that it's significantly
Reactor
different than
farm.
this one. And then down
It's a
here,
reactor.
this is going to be either
Something.
coolant or intake, or both coolant and intake, because it would work either way. And this is a deuterium tank.
Deuterium tanks, yes, there's
Yes.
four of them
So yeah, it would
inside
stand to
this.
reason that this would be a deuterium collector for collecting deuterium gas, so they could refuel the ship on the fly. Coolant
Yeah, I'm
and
thinking
deuterium.
about that.
That's a cool idea.
Anyway, let's go back in the shuttle bay. I'll be in the forward section.
Alrighty.
Just I'll be out of one of the two lifts.
Alright. I am all the way forward now where the fueling area is.
Over here.
I will
I'm
TP
jumping.
to you. I can't see you, so I'll just
Yep.
TP to you, Shadow.
Um,
There you are.
Yep, let's go up here. Yeah,
Oh,
this
your
is not
lounge.
decked out. Yeah, the lounge is not really finished, but I'm really happy with what I did with this glass windows.
These are beautiful. Love how you designed
These
this,
are
by the way.
I just mixed and matched magenta and white. That's all I did.
So when the pilots are in here picking their nose, the people walking by can see him doing it. What's he? Oh, that's disgusting. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Whatever you do, don't eat it.
This is the departure lounge.
Okay.
The pilot's lounge is all the
Yes. Why don't you
back there.
come up here and show them a little bit of what you've done up here on this deck up here.
Oh, deck 6.
Deck 6
Yeah,
is
this.
mirrored. Look at this
Oh yeah.
atrium he's built. It's I mean, it was an afterthought for the Enterprise D that we added atriums to it. But in that process, it gave Shadow an idea, and he ran with it and just did this beautiful atriums. Look at the hanging thing.
Seriously, this atrium only became a thing because everyone was screaming for one to be put in this ship. I was heavily against them.
It stands to reason because J.J. Price puts one in his ship, and after that, they are actually in the Wi-Fi plans. Atriums are in the Wi-Fi. They're really small atriums. So when we implemented them for the Enterprise D, we had to change the location, and we put 3 of them in instead of 4. So,
Yeah,
that's
but yeah, this actually.
Ooh, check out this Jeffries tube. Looking at.
I would actually say the atrium on Lumi B was a love-hate relationship, but it's more love now.
Yeah, I would say
So
it
here
came
we
out
have
beautiful, dude. So this is the warp, or excuse me, this is the computer core.
computer core access, and I'm not gonna lie, these pipes came out. I never thought these were gonna work, and they worked somehow.
Beautiful.
These
Yeah.
worked.
It's a really cool design when you have the space to above you to play with by going to the 4 tall decks as opposed to the 3 tall decks. This is the kind of quality of detail you can add to stuff. Let's go check out his warp core here, or excuse me, computer cores, which are warp. They have their own little warp engines, or they're supposed to be warp powered.
Apparently,
But check this out. Check out the
apparently.
detail here. Now these are similar to those that are in the D that were designed by M. Heller, but Shadow is
Oh yeah,
taking them to the next level. And
I
now,
always, I always have my own designs for these quadrants. Each quadrant is identically the same. I just copied one and rotated it 4 times. That's how these are done.
so what are you
They
going to
are
do for coolant
pains.
on the bottom here? Whoops. Down here in the coolant area.
All the way back on deck 12. Nightmare.
Yeah, it fell all the way down here.
I've got quite a few options for deck this, and what I have been looking over these is obviously I want to do a bracing thing like was done on the E down here.
Cool.
But I think I might get a couple of coolant tanks in and yeah, roll it with it. Really. One
Very
in my
cool.
afterfall area.
Very cool. One of the things that Shadow and I worked on, one of the first things I ever helped him with was this area down here for the captain's yacht. And recently it was slightly revised. And
Again.
yeah, again, it is one of those things. It's just as designs improve and stuff. But what we did is we added a functioning turbo lift, and this turbo lift now comes in here where this cargo bay or whatever it is can be offloaded and stuff, and then there's a lift that goes all the way up here into this
Yeah.
area here. I don't know, the extent that this has to go. I don't know what's above us on the floor above us, but probably, well, you could go up into this top area here too, Shadow. So
Could I?
this way here you have
So,
like you can turn this into, whatever you want to turn it into.
I
'Cause
have
you got
no
plenty of
idea
room.
yet.
Yeah, you could turn that into a small cargo bay too, small storage, because it's right off the adjacent room here. So you just put like a big door right there, and this here could just be a staging area for it. Take
Yeah, that
advantage of all the
works.
space you got. See, that's the beautiful thing is as he designs this, as you will see when you come on and tour Deck 6, which you have to do. This is just a beautiful deck to tour. But if you come on the ship, you can see the process of design and how everything is getting worked in and laid out, and pieces and stuff, and how things are being changed over time. Like the hangar bay's been reworked, the impulse bay's been reworked. He's still working on the nacelle, and
The only room I would say that may confuse you is this room.
I'm gonna TP to Shadow real quick.
You cannot actually get into this room. I guarantee you cannot legitimately get into this room by a door.
No, and the
Because
reason
it's
for that is it
surrounded.
comes off of this cargo bay and it goes into these turbolifts here. So it's
Yeah,
basically a turbolift exchange point. Now, if I was
yeah,
remembering
it's just
correctly, I was going to put a ladder or something at the back here to allow you to get in through here, but
there's no point because you can just use the lift here.
yeah,
And if there's no power, you're not going to use this room, period.
yes.
Because there's nothing else goes through this
Yeah,
room
and
at all.
basically this would be like a robotically controlled. A turbolift, the things would guide themselves. They don't need manual guiding, so this was just basically an exchange. When cargo comes up, it can come into here and then it can enter the turbolift system, much like the pneumatic system we have on the Enterprise D. And if you come over here, you can see this beautiful transporter Shadow has made.
It's a modifier was done on the D's, but I've heavily modified the
That
back
was
walls
designed
and
by M.
everything.
Heller.
She allowed me to modify it. I went through about 10 designs before.
It's a
This
very
was the one
nice
I
design, by
implemented.
the way. You just keep stepping up.
Thanks.
You keep stepping the quality up, and then I have to go back and go like, oh, so yeah, this is a much. I like how you integrated the two lights together. That makes a lot more sense for a transporter pad, the way you've done it here, than those half slabs that we have to use. So now I have to go back through and retrofit every freaking transporter on the Enterprise D. Thanks, Shadow. But I love the roof. I love the roof in here. I would love to get half slab lights. That would make it so much easier if we had a half slab
Oh,
lighting block and half slab glass blocks for like stairs and shit. But
well, if we do get an influx of slabs in any of it's lightly possible the textures can be modified into a clear texture.
Well, what would be cool is just to have the ability to modify the metadata on the block and say, yes, this block can emit light, and then we can automatically set a half lab to light. Hello, Cass.
A random cast.
Recording. Say hi. But yeah, let's go ahead and enter into deck 6 here and take a
This is deck 5.
Deck 5. Well, let's go down to. Why don't you leave me to a gangway and take me down to deck 6? Oh, don't do that way. Just find it. Let's walk around deck 5 and look. Let's walk around deck 5.
Oh wait. Oh, wow. Deck 5.
Lead me on.
I
Lead
get
on.
lost.
What's your ship? You can't get lost. There's got to be a stairwell around here some darn place.
Found one.
And oh, there he is. And we'll go on down to deck 6 here.
Well, this is the one with the Jeffries tube in it.
Ah, yes. I wanted to show them your Jeffries tube. So, okay, is it always show them the Jeffries tube real quick? Let's find a good one.
Oh yeah, this is the good one.
Here's
the really good one.
And if you say here, this is like a the hallway version of the Jeffries tube, and then it narrows down to this, which is just, check this out. We tried to implement this before, but we could never pull it off because we couldn't go around corners. But now, because of Shadow, we have a pretty good idea how to do corners and stuff. So this will probably be the same style that we'll probably adopt for the Enterprise D.
In corner sense, I think I have to show you one more room.
Alright, I'm coming. Whoa, if I can fly straight. See, this is why they don't give me a pilot's license, because I can't fly straight. Am I going?
You there?
I think I lost you, Shadow. Oh no, you're. I'm coming. I'm an old man. Give me a second. I gotta smoke a cigarette. Hold off. Alrighty. We're back to the. Look at this. When you come out into here, you see the glory of this atrium and with the brilliance of how he did this. How it all pays off. It just looks so nice. At first, when I saw this on the deck plans, I was like, I don't think this is going to work. But man, he really pulled it off nicely.
So, take this Jeffries tube.
Alright.
After you find that hole.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I did the same mistake.
Don't tell my girlfriend.
So we'll use this Jeffries tube, and then we'll have to go through yet another Jeffries tube.
Man, this is cool, dude. That is really spacey,
Did this one.
Oh, yeah. I was over here yesterday, and I remembered seeing this, and this is what I was going to model our Enterprise D version off of. So,
yeah,
I gotta take
I've
screen
got this
caps of
grill
all
section.
of this. I love how you did this room. Because of the limited height, he had to do 2 block pieces instead of 3 block pieces, but he pulls it off really well. Of course, you don't want to be in this room without a spacesuit just because the hull's like right here, and you know, Romulans, Klingons, evil
This is
creatures.
I just put this little grill thing here.
It looks cool how you did that. And there's actually an excellent use of space. Well, what's the purpose of this room? This ladder right here. That's the sole purpose of this room. Is this ladder right here?
That just this ladder on deck for deck 7. That's all this is for.
Yeah, and if you go on board the D and tour the Jeffries tube system on the D, you have all these things where they all interlink together. I mean, we really, when I set that system up, I really tried to pay attention to how everything interconnects. And I spent many days going through the entire Jeffries tube systems, making sure things interlinked. So, it's hard work.
This is the
Shadow will attest to. This is a storage facility.
Medical. And this is one of my little. Yeah, this is one of my little cheats.
I like
just this floor.
He's dead, Jim. Just stick him in the freezer. Right here, that'll work. Just fold him. Just fold him up. Yeah, there you go. Need a hammer?
One of my storage solutions, because I've got to compensate for people not being able to read basic signs.
Yeah, you gotta remember, we get a lot of Germans, we get a lot of Russians, and American kids that still don't know how to read, and yet they're high school seniors. Yeah, reading
so what
is for stupid people. I have iPhone. Ugh.
So what I did is that all the storage rooms, if they're specialized, it'll have dark blue, light blue, or red flooring on it, and that just dictates what it is. Unless if it doesn't have that, then it's either emergency or standard storage. They're pretty much the same thing at that point.
This is a very large deck, and just imagine this is one of the smaller decks on the ship.
Yeah, deck 12. I am not looking forward to that monster.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah,
That's
you've done a
6 decks
beautiful
from now.
job, an absolutely beautiful job with these turbo lifts and with everything. How, just the way everything works together and ties in, and just out into the shuttle bay here, and just oh my god, dude. Uh,
If I was to actually tear out a
Eyeball
section of
orgasm is what this ship is. This ship is an eyeball orgasm. If
If I
a
was to tear out a
tracking,
section of deck 6 or deck 5, you'd actually find the conduits are also fully.
yes, Shadow also does a good point that he just made. If you were to slice the ship in half, or excuse me, slice the ship into deck sections, you would see that every system is interconnected via conduits. So that means the systems that are in the fore part of the ship are tied into conduits that are tied into every part of the ship, and eventually they all go to the same. They'll all tie into the trunk line, right here, and or
They do.
into other power regulators. And the trunk line, which is something that we took a lot of effort to do, will have a direct link to the aft section of the ship. Much like what we
Via
did with the
another trunk
Enterprise
line.
D. So
Yes, and the trunk line on Lumi B, I've taken a great inspiration of Nemesis. So I've kind of debunked that room Riker and what's his name were in. Sorry, I really do not like watching Nemesis at the best of times. Yeah, this is basically where they were when they start their fight.
yep,
But they somehow managed to fall into a space that was even
goes all the
smaller,
way
even though
down, all the way down to here. Of course, when you talk to them about where that space actually happened, it happened in a nacelle. Don't ask me why. Then it was on deck 12, and then it was on deck 94. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
yeah.
Then it was above the warp core. It's so many answers. I mean, on the Enterprise D, I just have this like little, or excuse me, the Enterprise E, I have this little sign that says "Watch your step." Lawsuit required us to seal this section. You know, the Riemann lawsuit. But yes, the ship is coming along quite nicely, Shadow. I see you've been back here working on the aft cargo bay, slash shuttle bay, cargo shuttle bay. You have
Of
any
the off shuttle bay.
you have any inspirations with this area?
Minus the fact that really no.
Well, here's a beautiful thing is you really, since the turbo lift is right here, if you wanted to reclaim this corridor right here, you could reclaim the corridor all the way up to the turbo lift and turn these actually into physical rooms, because you have a turbo lift that comes down here and exits, and you can just put the the
all
doorway right there, and then you can
all
reclaim
these
the
are
orbits.
going to be is basically this is just there. It's exactly what it is going on currently on the shuttle bay one. This is just a corridor service access with cargo space. That's all this is. And
Well, cool.
going to serve the exact same purpose as it was in
But
Lumi B
true.
shuttle bay
And
one.
if you ever needed to get people out of here fast, you just open these up and people could flow in and everything else too. So it works out really well. I remember putting a lot of time into this turbo lifts back here, trying to get turbo lifts to every part of the ship, and that was one of the compromises
Got
I had to
another
run
one of
going
these
all.
openings in over here. This was one of these small openings
Cool. I like how
right
you do
above
all
the
this.
screen.
And we even have an overhead sky bridge control room, which is very cool.
Yeah.
It allows you to do oh shit!
No,
Thought there was glass there. Oh
there is.
no! Strassi just killed himself. No more
Again.
mine track. So down here is going to be a parking bay, I believe, for cargo or for whatever.
It's going to be a cargo slash runabout storage slash parking. It's whatever I fit in it, basically.
Cool. And I assume that there's you come under here, and this is a big cargo bay, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, and this goes into another cargo bay, which inherently just happens to go into another small one-deck cargo bay, which goes into the cargo complex.
So you have this huge bay down here, and then it comes down into here. Wow, check this place out. It's massive.
Yeah.
This is nice. Did you do a lot of... You must redesign this a little bit, because this is really cool. Got a little airlock right here, then another big, massive cargo bay.
I've done a minor tweak here and there, but nothing huge.
Cool. Very cool indeed.
I
was thinking if you had to do anything, instead of having a big open space on the center here, this is where you would actually put your cargo rooms. Just run it straight across here, and then have like your cargo rooms.
Yeah,
a
lot of this will be closed. Yeah, it'll be sectioned off. It's not going to be completely open like this. This is stupid. it will actually be bisected into different areas. Like you would expect it to, similar to that what you see in Voyager, where it's bisected, and
Yeah, they've got those three
something sected.
quadrants. It's hard to design a cargo bay for the secondary hull because you have to have these corridors and stuff. Now on this deck here and these two decks here, if you wanted to extend these, all we'd have to keep are the turbo lifts, and we can push the corridors out to the edge, and then he could gain this whole area here as cargo
Yeah,
bay. But all it would mean is on these two decks there would be a slight deviation of where the corridors go, which is no big deal because that was the way it was designed, so that if we need to be, this sections here can be claimed as
I,
corridors.
I prefer. I would say keep it like this at this point because us going through this area, there's that much cargo space. I don't want to do another D, where literally if you go to the D's star drive, you can actually go between about 16 different cargo complexes in a matter of minutes. It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah, and those are
Staggering
all
you
in the
can do it.
spine and stuff. Those are covered in one of the videos that'll be coming out, because this video will probably come out before any of the Enterprise D updates. So, because I'm lazy and I don't feel like editing. But anyways, down here is the ejection system for the warp core. As you can see, he's put a lot of effort into getting all this nice and
Ooh,
stylized.
this is a dual system. So you see there's two doors.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had discussed with him on this. So, why it's two doors is because when the warp core's reaction chamber needs servicing, they open the first door and it just so happens to lower this just enough so a stair that extends out here, like so, and you just basically climb up here, and this would all be covered over by this warp, the reaction chamber, and you can service the reaction chamber.
Oh, so basically the reactant chamber lowers and they can service the reactant chamber instead of having a catwalk come around here or a big stair, like a ladder
Yeah,
thingy-majiggy. Jordy, you shouldn't be on that like that. It might slip. Ah! Damn it. We need a new
and
chief
then
engineer.
it and then it will
Next.
be pushed back up and reconnected into the system again. It's a complex, stupid ass system, but it beats catwalks and stuff.
That's cool. I always wondered if something happened to Jordy, would they be like, we need to get O'Brien back? Somebody called Deep Space Nine? Or would they just like promote somebody? I don't know. Just one of those thoughts.
Well, apparently the logs, after Jodie became captain of the Challenger, put Nog in charge of the Enterprise engineering before it was destroyed.
I don't believe any of that crap because why would Nog want to serve on the Enterprise when he's a Ferengi? Serve on an old spaceship when you can serve on a new spaceship. The Ferenginar. Anyways, thanks for watching. Shadow, if you'd like to say goodbye.
Goodbye, I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
Yeah, Shadow's he's across the big pond, so it's pretty early in the morning AM for him. Anyways, thanks
Oh
for
yeah,
watching, and y'all have a great day now. Bye-bye.